Have you ever paused to consider the history, craftsmanship, and hidden value behind a 5-cent coin? The humble nickel, often overlooked in favor of its larger counterparts, holds an incredible story. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating journey of the 2000 USA 5-cent coin, one that blends historical context, artistry, and a touch of unexpected value. Let's start by setting the stage. The year is 2000, a new millennium, a time of optimism, technological advancement, and global transformation. The United States was moving into a new century, and this sense of renewal and change permeated all aspects of life, including the nation's coinage. The 2005-cent coin stands at the intersection of tradition and modernity, carrying with it both echoes of the past and signals of the future. Since the introduction of the 5-cent coin, known as the nickel back in 1866, it has undergone various transformations. Initially, it was composed of a copper-nickel alloy, making it distinct from its copper penny cousin. Over the years, the coin's design has shifted with the times, always reflecting the values and historical moments that shaped each era. By 2000, however, the design of the 5-cent coin was far from the original conception. The nickel had been through a variety of changes, but the core of its design remained consistent for decades. Before 2000, the most iconic version of the 5-cent coin was the one featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse side. Since 1938, Jefferson had been the coin's face, with his home, Monticello, depicted on the reverse side. The Monticello design was an enduring tribute to Jefferson's legacy as the architect of his home and the author of the Declaration of Independence. However, the turn of the millennium marked a significant moment for the U.S. Mint. It was during this period that a new chapter in the history of the 5-cent coin began to unfold. To commemorate the 200th anniversary of Thomas Jefferson's birth, the U.S. Mint made a bold decision to redesign the nickel. They introduced a new series of coins, starting in 2004, that would tell a more complete and dynamic story of Jefferson's life and vision for the nation. But before we dive into the new designs that would define the coin's future, it's essential to understand the context of the 2005-cent coin. While the redesigns hadn't been fully implemented yet, the coins minted in 2000 still bore the iconic Jeffersonian features. This coin, then, stands as a symbol of both the old and the new, the last year before a major overhaul, a bridge between two eras of American coinage. The 2005-cent coin, minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, features the familiar portrait of Jefferson on the obverse. Jefferson's face, carefully rendered by artist Felix Schlag, is captured in a profile that exudes strength, intelligence, and foresight. The reverse side, as expected, showcases Monticello, the stately home that Jefferson designed and built. The image of Monticello, with its elegant columns and expansive grounds, had been a fixture on the nickel since 1938, symbolizing Jefferson's ideals of liberty, democracy, and the American dream. Although the design had become iconic over the decades, the year 2000 was a transitional period. The United States Mint had begun to take a more experimental approach to coin design, leading to subtle but significant changes in the production process. For the 2000 nickel, these changes were relatively minimal in terms of design, but the coin's legacy would soon be redefined with the introduction of new designs in the years to follow. The 2000 nickel also represents an interesting moment in American history. The nation had just entered a new century, a time of rapid technological advancement and change. The dot-com boom was in full swing, the internet was beginning to reshape how we communicated, and people were looking to the future with a sense of excitement and possibility. Yet, at the same time, the coin also carries the weight of historical legacy, serving as a reminder of the principles upon which the country was founded. In terms of its minting details, the 2000 nickel was produced using the same basic composition as its predecessors, a copper-nickel blend. This alloy, which consists of 75% copper and 25% nickel, gives the coin its characteristic appearance and durability. The total weight of the coin is 5 grams, and its diameter measures 21.21 millimeters, making it the perfect size for easy handling and circulation. The edge of the coin is smooth, in contrast to the ridged edges of other coins like the dime or quarter. Despite its familiarity, the 2005-cent coin is not just a run-of-the-mill nickel. Over the years, collectors have come to recognize its place in the broader story of American currency. While it may not be as rare or sought after as some of the more limited edition coins minted in specific years, the 2000 nickel still holds a unique charm for those who appreciate the nuances of U.S. coinage. Coin collectors, or numismatists as they are often called, are always on the lookout for variations, errors, and rare additions that might set certain coins apart from the rest. And when it comes to the 2005-cent coin, there are a few factors that make certain versions of this coin more desirable to collectors. One of the key aspects that affect a coin's value is its condition. Coins that have been well preserved, especially those with no visible wear and tear, are worth more than those that have been in circulation for many years. If you happen to stumble upon a 2000 nickel in pristine condition, it could be worth significantly more than its face value. Even though the 2000 nickel is widely circulated, finding one in uncirculated or mint condition can elevate its appeal to collectors. Another important factor is the possibility of errors during the minting process. Every now and then, the U.S. Mint makes a mistake, whether it's an incorrectly stamped coin, a misaligned die, or some other anomaly. These error coins are often highly sought after by collectors because of their rarity and uniqueness. For the 2000 nickel, there have been reports of minor errors, such as off-center strikes or double die imprints, that have caught the attention of numismatists. Of course, there's the historical context to consider as well. The fact that the 2000 nickel was the last year of the classic Jefferson design before the mint made significant changes in 2004 only adds to its allure. Collectors are often drawn to coins that mark the end of an era, and the 2000 nickel fits this category perfectly. As the design was about to change, the coin is now a piece of history, one that represents the closing chapter of a long-running series. When it comes to assessing the coin's value, it's important to note that the 2005-cent coin generally doesn't have a particularly high market value in its standard circulated form. However, as with many coins, factors like condition, rarity, and historical significance can make certain versions of the coin worth more than expected. So, you might be wondering, what's the current value of the 2005-cent coin? If you have a nickel from that year in decent condition, you're likely looking at a value very close to its face value of 5 cents. But for those of you who are lucky enough to have a 2000 nickel in mint condition, or even one that features an error or rare variation, you might be sitting on a coin worth far more. Some of the higher-grade versions of the 2000 nickel can fetch up to $57 in certain collector markets, especially if it has unique characteristics or comes from a particularly rare batch. So there you have it. While the 2000 nickel may not seem like a big deal at first glance, there's a world of history and value hidden beneath its surface. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a casual enthusiast, the 2005-cent coin is a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary objects can have extraordinary stories behind them. The next time you find one in your pocket or purse, take a moment to appreciate its significance. And who knows, you might just have a piece of American history that's worth more than you think. The 2007 USA 5-cent coin, more commonly known as the nickel, holds a fascinating story that connects history, design, and economic significance. It's more than just a piece of currency. It's a symbol of American heritage, a reflection of the country's cultural shifts, and a collector's gem that carries both historical weight and a certain mystique. Today, we'll explore the journey of this coin, from its origins and minting process to its unique design features and its collector value. Let's begin with a bit of history. The 5-cent coin, known as the nickel, was first introduced in the United States in 1866. Before that, the country relied on silver coins like the half dime to cover the 5-cent denomination. But as the U.S. expanded, so did its economy. The need for a more durable coin that could withstand circulation led to the creation of the nickel, a coin made from a blend of copper and nickel, which has remained in use ever since. Fast forward to 2007. The coin you're holding in your hand today is part of the ongoing evolution of the 5-cent piece, but with a twist that made it stand out among the rest. That year, the U.S. Mint decided to issue a series of nickels with new designs that would mark the bicentennial of Thomas Jefferson's birth. Jefferson, of course, being one of the founding fathers and the third president of the United States, had been prominently featured on the obverse of the nickel since 1938, so it only made sense to honor his legacy with a fresh take on his likeness. But before we get into the design itself, let's talk about the technical aspects of the coin. The 2007 nickel, like all nickels produced since 1866, is made from a combination of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The standard weight of the coin is 5 grams, and its diameter measures 21.21 millimeters, about the same size as a modern-day quarter, but thinner. The coin's edge is smooth, which is typical for U.S. coins in this denomination, but what really sets it apart is the design and the story behind it. The 2007 nickel features 2 different designs, one on the obverse and one on the reverse, making it an interesting piece to study. Let's start with the obverse, where the likeness of Thomas Jefferson takes center stage. The design was based on a famous portrait of Jefferson by the artist Rembrandt Peale, which was created in 1800. Jefferson is shown with a calm, dignified expression, a man who played a pivotal role in the formation of the United States. But what makes the 2007 nickel particularly unique is that the reverse of the coin was redesigned for the bicentennial of Jefferson's birth. The traditional reverse design, which had shown a simple depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia plantation home, was replaced with a new design showcasing a view of Monticello from a different angle. This new view emphasizes the symmetry of the building, highlighting Jefferson's architectural genius and the symbolic connection between him and the nation he helped shape. This redesign marked the beginning of what would become known as the Westward Journey Nickel Series. The series began in 2004 and continued through 2005, 2006, and into 2007, with each coin offering a fresh perspective on American history and the contributions of key historical figures like Jefferson. But the 2007 edition, with its bicentennial twist, was especially significant for collectors and numismatists alike. The 2007 nickel series itself didn't stop at one single design, however. Alongside the standard circulation version of the coin, the U.S. Mint also released special editions of the nickel for collectors. These could be found in proof sets, uncirculated rolls, and other special packaging. These versions were created with a higher level of detail and finesse, making them even more appealing to people who collected coins as a hobby or as a means of preserving history in terms of production. The U.S. Mint struck the 2007 nickel at its facilities in Philadelphia and Denver, the 2 primary minting locations for U.S. coins. Both versions of the coin, those produced for general circulation and those for collectors, were made with precision and care. This attention to detail contributed to the high quality and intricate features found on the coin. Collectors particularly love the fact that the 2007 nickel was part of such a historically significant series, making it a must-have for anyone interested in numismatics. Now, let's talk about the appeal of the 2007 nickel among collectors. Why has it stood the test of time as a coin that's worth more than just its face value? Well, for starters, it's because it's part of a series that was designed to honor a key moment in U.S. history, the bicentennial of Thomas Jefferson's birth. But there's more to it than just that. The coin's unique design and its connection to American history make it especially appealing to both casual collectors and more serious numismatists. In fact, coins from the Westward Journey Nickel Series have become quite sought after over the years, with some in mint condition or with special features fetching impressive prices. As of today, a 2007 nickel in uncirculated condition can easily be worth a little more than its face value, sometimes even a few dollars more. But here's the big surprise. If you happen to own a 2007 nickel in exceptional condition, or one that was minted in a rare batch, its value can skyrocket even further. For example, certain 2007 nickels, particularly those with minting errors or unique characteristics, can be valued much higher. This includes things like doubling on the mint mark, off-center strikes, or even proof coins that have been preserved in immaculate condition. These variations and errors create an added layer of rarity and intrigue that collectors are always on the lookout for. So, a typical 2007 nickel may be worth around 38 cents, but if you're lucky enough to come across one with a rare error or in mint condition, it could potentially be worth hundreds of dollars or more depending on its rarity. And what about the current value of the 2007 nickel? Well, despite being a coin that was minted in large quantities, it's still holding its own in the world of numismatics. Today, the 2007 nickel is typically worth about 38 cents in average circulated condition, which is just a few cents more than its face value. However, coins in mint condition, such as those found in proof sets or special mint rolls, can fetch a higher price, reaching up to $1 or $2 depending on their condition. For example, a 2007 Jefferson nickel with a high-quality finish and no visible wear could be worth more than its face value, while rare variations and minting errors could potentially increase its value by a significant margin. Some collectors have reported paying upwards of $5 to $10 for a pristine 2007 nickel, especially if it's part of a set or if it has some unique characteristic that makes it stand out from the rest. In fact, certain coin grading services, like the American Numismatic Association or the Professional Coin Grading Service, might list a rare or uncirculated 2007 nickel at much higher prices, sometimes even reaching into the tens or hundreds of dollars for exceptional pieces. But ultimately, the true value of a 2007 nickel, like any coin, is determined by its rarity, condition, and the current demand from collectors. Coins that are part of a historical series or that represent important moments in American history will always hold a special place in the hearts of numismatists and coin enthusiasts alike. So, while the 2007 nickel may not be the most valuable coin in circulation today, its historical significance and the potential for future appreciation and value make it an interesting piece to watch. To sum it all up, the 2007 USA 5-cent coin isn't just a small piece of metal with a 5 cents face value. It's a coin rich in history, tied to the legacy of Thomas Jefferson and the story of America's growth. Its unique design, which reflects both artistic achievement and the evolution of the U.S. Mint's approach to coinage, makes it a fascinating item for collectors. And with a bit of luck, it could very well be worth more than just a few cents in the future. So, the next time you come across a 2007 nickel, take a closer look. It might just be a rare treasure in disguise. In 2008, the United States Mint introduced a new 5-cent coin, better known as the nickel, that would go on to play a key role in the country's coinage history. But this wasn't just any typical 5-cent piece. No, the 2008 nickel was unique in its own right, as it carried with it elements of design, history, and innovation that would make it one of the most intriguing pieces of currency of the decade. Let's rewind a bit and understand the nickel's significance in the broader context of American coinage. The 5-cent piece, introduced in 1866, replaced the half-dime, a silver coin, and was made from a durable copper-nickel blend. The coin was initially popular due to its resilience and practicality. It didn't tarnish as quickly, and it could survive the rigors of daily use much better than its predecessors. Over the years, the design of the nickel has undergone several significant changes, reflecting shifts in American culture, history, and politics. For the most part, by 2008, the design of the 5-cent coin had remained relatively unchanged since 1938. The obverse of the nickel featured a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, while the reverse displayed a detailed image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia plantation home, which he designed himself. This image had been the standard design for decades. But in 2008, something special happened. The U.S. Mint, celebrating the bicentennial of Jefferson's birth, decided to give the 5-cent coin a new twist. The design overhaul was part of the broader Westward Journey Nickel Series, which began in 2004 and continued through to 2008. Each coin in the series reflected a different aspect of American history, especially focusing on the nation's expansion westward. However, 2008 was particularly significant because it marked the final year of the series and the culmination of a multi-year tribute to Jefferson's legacy. So, what exactly did the 2008 nickel look like, and what made it stand out from its predecessors? The 2008 nickel featured two key elements: the classic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and a new reverse design. The obverse portrait of Jefferson was based on a well-known 1800 painting by artist Rembrandt Peale, and it depicted the president with a dignified, thoughtful expression. This image had become iconic, representing both the man and the values he stood for: liberty, democracy, and the birth of the United States as an independent nation. But the real excitement came on the reverse. Instead of the traditional Monticello depiction, the 2008 nickel showcased an updated, reimagined version of Jefferson's home, viewed from the front. This redesign was meant to symbolize Jefferson's forward-thinking nature, his role as an architect, and his lasting influence on American culture. The reverse design also includes an inscription of Monticello and the phrase "E pluribus unum," which is the national motto of the United States. It's important to note that Monticello itself was chosen as the symbol of the nickel not only because of Jefferson's personal connection to the estate, but also due to its representation of the nation's ideals of democracy and independence. The 2008 nickel's reverse also marked the first time the design featured the building from this angle, adding a layer of significance that connected it to Jefferson's architectural genius and his commitment to the American experiment. The new reverse was a reminder that the coin itself wasn't just a form of currency. It was a piece of American history, a tribute to the values that shaped the nation in terms of minting. The 2008 nickel maintained the same composition and specifications as previous nickels: 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a weight of 5 grams and a diameter of 21.21 millimeters. The coin's smooth edge was consistent with other circulating coins in the U.S. Mint's lineup. But even with the familiar specifications, the 2008 nickel was far from ordinary. The redesigned reverse, coupled with the national significance of the bicentennial of Jefferson's birth, made this coin an instant hit with collectors and numismatists. In fact, the 2008 nickel was released in two different versions. The regular circulation coin, minted for general use, was issued in both Philadelphia and Denver, just like most U.S. coins. But there was also a special proof version of the coin, minted at the San Francisco facility, with a mirror-like finish and additional detailing that made it a prized possession for collectors. Proof coins are typically produced in smaller quantities and offer a much higher level of detail than the standard circulating versions. They are often housed in protective cases and sold as part of commemorative sets, making them highly desirable for those looking to preserve history. Given its significance in the Westward Journey Nickel Series and its connection to the bicentennial of Jefferson's birth, the 2008 nickel was widely collected. But beyond its historical importance, there was another key reason why collectors were so eager to get their hands on this particular coin. It's part of a series that would only last for 4 years, making it a limited edition. Collectors flocked to coin shops and online marketplaces, hoping to find well-preserved examples of the 2008 nickel, especially those that had never been circulated. Uncirculated versions of the 2008 nickel are often worth more than their face value, especially if they are in pristine condition. Coins with exceptional details and no visible wear or marks can fetch higher prices among collectors who are looking for flawless examples of this piece of history. As with most collectible coins, condition is key. A 2008 nickel in average circulated condition is typically worth its face value, 5 cents. But for coins that have been carefully preserved or come from rare minting batches, the price can increase significantly. A nickel in mint condition, particularly one that was never used in circulation and has been kept in pristine condition, could be worth anywhere from a few dollars to $10 or more. And then there are those rare coins with minting errors or unique characteristics that can truly stand out in a collection. For instance, a 2008 nickel with a noticeable error, such as a double die, where the design appears to be doubled due to a mistake during the minting process, can be extremely valuable. Collectors who specialize in error coins often pay a premium for these pieces, as they are rare and highly sought after. In some cases, error coins from well-known series like the 2008 nickel can fetch hundreds of dollars, depending on the nature of the error and its rarity. Now, let's talk about the value of the 2008 nickel in today's market. The coin's face value is still just 5 cents, of course, but as we've seen, its value as a collectible can be much higher. For a standard, circulated 2008 nickel in average condition, you're looking at a value of around 10 to 25 cents, which is still more than the coin's face value. But when you start talking about uncirculated or proof versions of the 2008 nickel, things get more interesting. In mint condition, an uncirculated 2008 nickel might be worth $1 to $3, depending on the quality. Proof versions, with their stunning mirror finish and flawless details, can be worth $5 to $10, and occasionally even more, depending on how well they've been preserved. However, if you've got a rare minting error or an especially pristine version of the 2008 nickel, then you could be looking at a value much higher. Collectors sometimes report paying $25 to $50 for exceptionally well-preserved examples of this coin, and there are even reports of coins with significant errors being sold for $100 or more. So, while the 2008 nickel may seem like a small, insignificant piece of metal, it's important to remember that its true value is determined by its rarity, condition, and demand from collectors. And here's where it gets even more intriguing. Some special 2008 nickels, particularly those that were part of limited edition proof sets or packaged in special rolls, can fetch upwards of $38 or more, depending on the market. These coins, often sold to collectors as part of limited collections, have the potential to appreciate over time as they become rarer and rarer. So, the next time you find a 2008 nickel, take a moment to examine it closely. While it may seem like just another coin in your pocket, it could be far more valuable than you think. Whether it's the regular circulation version or a rare proof coin, the 2008 nickel has become a treasured piece of U.S. history, and for the right collector, it's worth more than just its 5-cent face value.